Hello, everybody. This is Adrienne with Ascension Soul Coaching. So today is Friday, March the 11th, 2022. Now, I want to say this is my opinion based on the things I've read and things I know and things I feel. You can do your own research because I'm not going to try to give out any disinformation. These are my opinions. But if you don't see the writing on the wall, you need to put some glasses on. So in the U.S. today, the Democrats in the House have approved secretly the Build Back Better bill. And now it's going to move over to the Senate, and they're going to have their chance to vote on it, and we'll see what happens. The only thing I want people to understand is that the Build Back Better is not just a U.S. plan. You'll have to understand that this is a worldwide plan to reset everything, from how we deal with fuel, how we deal with the climate, how everything is going to be revamped, people. And they're going to bring in AI, artificial intelligence, and it's here to reset the world, people. It's not just here for the U.S. It's here for every Western country who is a part of the UN. Okay? So we're seeing this war, but America's getting very involved with this war with China, with Russia and Ukraine. And you all got to know there's a bigger reason why behind it. You need to do your homework. And everybody's been trying to tell you all and hint to you that this, which is happening since 2020, is not going to get better. It is going to get worse for you and I. However, we're like frogs in a pot that's simmering very slowly, and they're roasting us to death, and we don't even know it. Most people's eyes are so closed, or they don't want to hear it, or they're feeling like they're so stressed out they can't deal with it. You need to wake up. The only way you can change anything is by opening up your eyes and saying, I don't comply. I don't like the changes you're doing. We don't agree with the changes you're doing. You didn't invite us into the seat at the table or even ask for our opinion about all of these massive changes you're making in the world. That's going to cost jobs. It's going to cost lives. It's going to cost people losing their homes. It's going to cost people not being able to own their own vehicles. Believe you me, that is what's going to happen. We've told you this. The agenda is real. You're not going to be able to eat the foods you want to eat. They've already disrupted the supply chain. They're already pushing you to go plant-based with some Frankenstein food. So you're not going to be able to buy meat. So they're going to outprice meat so you can't afford it. They're going to outprice houses so you can't afford it. They're going to up your property taxes over time so you can't afford the houses that you do own. They're going to bring in AI to take over jobs. This is the template for what they're doing. This is why, starting with 2020, we're not going to go on what happened with 2020, how they got you to stay at home and get out of the reality of world and work in virtual, which is why they're coming up with the metaverse, so you can live in a virtual reality. And as you're living in that virtual reality, the real world is going to be taken over by AI. They're not going to need you to come out and do jobs anymore. They're shutting down jobs everywhere. Now they're, with the war over in Russia, they're shutting down companies. Almost every industry over there that the U.S. has had trading agreements with. You don't think that's going to affect us over here? It will. And they're going to blame Russia. Just like they blame everything else on CV, they're going to blame everything else on Russia. There's going to be another crisis, they're going to blame something on that. This is a plan, people. If you all not taking the advice of the people, and I'm sorry the phone is shaking because I'm holding it, but if y'all are not taking the advice of people who are trying to tell y'all, get yourself ready. Get yourself ready. Get your food together. Figure out a plan on how to grow your food. If you don't have a backyard, then get a patio or a side yard or in-house garden. You need to be doing something. Get your seeds together. Get to the store and buy you some seedlings or buy you some plants that's already there you can plant and you can start growing this spring right now. If you have money in the bank, you need to think about how you're gonna divest some of that money into maybe some hard assets that's not going to lose its value, and you put it away and you put it away safe. You need to figure out if you need to, when the prices go up and people can't afford to buy gas to go to work, the ones who are still working, How are you going to stop people from stealing gas out of your tanks? There's gas caps you may need to buy to put on your cars so people don't try to siphon gas out of your car. They don't want you on oil, people. This war with Russia is bigger than what you think. And it's not about standing for the Ukraine. They knew, NATO in America and Russia knew that Ukraine was supposed to be hands off. Something has happened that's tipped off Russia, that they were coming for Ukraine in an attempt to push Russia into a war. Because guess what? Russia sells about provides about 25% of the oil to the US and other countries. So guess what? If we stop the flow of oil from Russia because we're saying that we're going to do an embargo on them, your prices are going to go up. Wait, see, remember, your prices are going up anyway. Look up COP26. They've already this year agreed that they don't want any more fossil fuels by 2030. Everything is 2030, y'all. Y'all got, this is 2022. You got 8 years to get yourself together, but 2025 is supposed to be the biggest milestone for them. 2020 started it, but believe you me, they were planning this way before 2020. The climate agreements, these things have been out for a while, and they always knew they wanted a one world government, and they've been slowly working us towards it. And because they need to get close to the 2030 was coming, they had to hit it hard and run in 2020, because it's a lot's going to change between 2020 and 2030. They want you in electric cars, but you're not going to be able to own the cars. You'll see this. You're not going to own the cars. Government's going to own the cars. You're not going to be able to just go wherever you want to go. They'll let you think you can, but you're not. All these phones they're handing out to people, trackers, ID verifications, electronic, where everybody's going to be in the same system, trackers, because this world is changing. It's not that country or this country. Look at the major issues that's happening in America, that's happening in Canada, France, Germany, Britain, Australia, okay? Some of the biggest countries in the UN. That's allegiance to the UN. And Russia doesn't want to be a part of it. And China doesn't want to be a part of it. But they're going to be slowly pulled in, and it's called economic hitmen. So if you don't want to go along with the program, we'll just destroy you. I'll hack you. I'll blow your stuff up. I'll create a war. I'll do this. Propaganda. Just saying, just look up and look, just open-mindedness. Look at how your world is so much different from 2019. 2019. Just go back to 2019 and see where you are now. Even if you still have your job and you still have your home and your car, you didn't have to go through unemployment over the past 2 years to be able to sustain yourself. Look at the people around you. Look at your family members. Look at how many people got sick. Look how many people who died. Look how many people who are living in fear, who are trying to wishfully hope for going back to the way it was in 2019. It's not going to happen. It's been 2 years. It's not. It's getting worse. Every 6 months, it's worse. And we're telling you, get yourself together. Open your eyes. Get your house together. Get the things ready for your children to last. Because remember in the 1926 Depression, people were out of work. They didn't have any money. They didn't have any food because they didn't think this would ever happen. Prepare. I need you to plan what you're going to do. Prepare your household and pray this works out the right way for everybody, for the good of all concerned. And the only way you can do it is to open your eyes and look at what your government is doing. The guy who's in charge of the World Economic Forum already told us they have placed people, their people, in high places within different governments, not only the head people, but the people surrounding them and the people in the courts to help forward their agenda. If we don't open our eyes, there's more of us than them, but if we don't open our eyes and see the games that's being played, we're going to be slaves to the system forever, or maybe not even here, because one of the things that's been rotating out there is that there's just a population, because there's too many people in the world, and they need a certain percentage to make it work, to have sustainability. That's where you hear your SDGs, the UN is trying to push out there, the Sustainable Development Goals. It does not include you and me. includes the gullible people who want to be slaves, and of course the AI that's going to come in and do the work, most of the work. Why do you think they're pushing the metaverse? The metaverse is AI. Yes, there's some good things that can be worked out of it, but it's always the intention of the use of it. And it's not for you and for me. Stop living like, well, my life is good. Your life is not good. You're just a frog in a pot that's simmering, that started out very low heat and is slowly every 6 months heating up more and more and more. Go get you some food. Go to the store. Make a plan. Figure out what you eat in a year. Figure out what your family eat in a year and what you will eat and what you don't want. Don't buy stuff you don't want. Buy things that you're really going to need. And it's even probably better to buy raw ingredients so they can remain shelf stable longer than if you buy like bread or whatever. Buy grains. Buy wheat berries, which is not to go up because guess what? Russia supplies that too. They supply a huge amount of wheat to other countries. Prices are going to soar. Fuel, food. There's going to be a limit of what's available. From me to you, just please do your research. Don't take everything I say or anybody else what they say for granted. Please do your research. Look around your neighborhood. Look around at your lifestyle, how it's changed in the past 2 years. You've made allowances. You've had some setbacks, and you probably come back and say, well, I'm almost there. But then don't be so short-sighted and look at the people around you. And you cannot ignore the gas prices. You can't. And it's only going to go up. So I implore you, I pray that we open the eyes up and we hold our government accountable. People are in those positions that, and I'm not going to say what I am. People in those positions that don't need to be there. They were placed there, people. They were placed there. They were bought and paid for and placed there. And it's not just one person. It's a whole caboodle of them. Both sides, y'all. Probably 3 sides. We wanted to say there's just people who were willing to take money to do the bidding. They were groomed from a young age to do this. Like Bill Gates, they claim. Bill Gates, I'm just saying that's what they say. He was groomed from when he was in college or whatever to be who he is now, which is why he's in everything. He was groomed to do this job. There are no coincidences, people. I do tarot readings. I have strong intuition. But not only do I have a strong intuition, I definitely do my research. And I've been hearing about this stuff since the 90s. This is nothing new. They're just putting it in place. I'm sorry y'all didn't get the news on that in the 90s like I did and some of the other people. I listened to all types of radio stations back in the 90s when I was in college. I listened to white conservative. I listened to the Democrats and the liberals. I was all over the place because I just like listening to politics. And this stuff has been out there. I never thought they would ever do it. I was naive. But they're doing what they said they were going to do. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is a conspiracy. Just do your homework. Do your research. Don't just listen to me. These are my opinions and based on my research and my intuition and what I see happening at the gas station and in the stores. And I see on TV that's happening with wars. Can't ignore those. Do your own research. Get involved with your community. Get involved with your politics because I'm telling you, it's going to need a lot. There's going to need a lot of us pushing. Can't be 1 or 2 people. Can't just be on YouTube talking. We got to be out there. We got to make sure that these things that are happening are for our good. And they're not. They can be. Some of the stuff can be. But a lot of it is not for good intentions for us. It's only for them. Get your head out of the sand, people. We're going to keep the people who know and the preppers and the people who have done their research and who know a lot about politics are going to keep coming on YouTube and trying to prompt you to do something. We have to. That is our calling. That is our duty. Not to go against your government, the uprising, anything like that, but to hold them accountable and to take offices back. We need manpower to do it. We need people awake to do it. Because they're going to just say they're asleep, and so while they're asleep, we're going to do what we want to do. How we want to do it. We'll just tell them what they want to know and what they want to hear. While all along, they're plotting our demise. You can't keep sleeping. I love you all, and I'll talk to you later. You know how to get in touch with me, Ascension Soul Coaching at gmail.com. If you want to talk about some of the things offline, you can contact me as well through that particular email. But we need to take this serious. We don't have a lot of time, y'all. And a lot of people are going to hurt because they've got their eyes closed. A lot of your family and friends are going to be hurt. So get together, plan, prepare, pray, but most importantly, act. Peace. Blessings.